Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time is going to be on Strangers Chapter 2, the sequel to the widely beloved Strangers Chapter 1 that literally everybody was talking about last year. People were so pumped up for this next movie. And yeah, because this is something that we really needed. This is something that, people thought everybody would be talking about. Like, come on, weapons, sinners. Come on, those horror movies are so wimpy. Strangers. This is what we're talking about. So, yeah, Mia, or whatever her name is from the last movie, managed to survive the first film. Well, technically it's the third film, but who really cares? But her fiance, yeah, he's kicked the bucket, but she is still trying to escape from the strangers as they are still going after her. Though throughout the film, we see flashbacks of the strangers as kids, trying to give in more of exactly why they became the strangers. Though, here's the thing about the first movie, though, okay? The first movie was so simple and basic, even though we don't know exactly why the strangers were doing this, though they did mention why, but it's not really in a way where people found it interesting, but very simple, and it was more than enough for us to really get invested because it was a very basic concept and it made perfect sense. It wasn't trying to go in with anything deep or anything in terms of a backstory. It was a very simple film that did not need a franchise whatsoever. Prey at Night was nothing special, but at least that didn't feel like it was trying to bring the franchise back to life. But yeah, suddenly someone just thought, what if we just ignore what the first movie did and just try to give the strangers more of a purpose on why they do what they do? And it just completely ruins it. Like, the way they managed to handle it here, I feel like is so lazy and it just doesn't work in that same sense that they were trying to make it out. Because chapter 1 was so dull and generic that I almost thought about skipping that movie because I did not know anyone who was talking about it. And when people were talking about it, they weren't talking about it in a positive way. Because the movie was so bland and generic, it just made me forget that this was going to become a new franchise. And now that it's expanded, I just keep wondering why, because throughout the first act of the movie, it's just the main lead just trying to escape from the strangers, and it is so bland and boring that it just had me wondering where exactly, they were going to go with this. Like, okay, I mean, I will give them credit. They do try to, bring out more of the why the strangers are doing this because they added in those flashbacks, but they're done in such a poor way that it came off as kind of silly, or rather just, okay, so this is why they're doing this, okay? Because who really cares at this point? Because the strangers, while they're cool slasher villains, they're not really ones that really need any, exposition to their backstory, because it was very obvious. They're breaking into homes just to cause chaos. That was more than enough, because, when it comes to strangers, like real-life strangers, when they break into your house, yeah, they're breaking in because, they're maniacs. That's more than enough. We don't need another Freddy Krueger or Michael Myers, because those horror movie villains, they have motives, but in a way that feel like there's a lot more to them than them just being slasher villains. But the way they try fleshing it out in these movies just does not work in the same sense as those characters did, because they forcefully add these things in that just don't work. And it doesn't hide the fact that the movie is very boring, especially when it comes to its horror, the thing that's trying to keep the movie going. The tension really isn't there. Like, oftentimes throughout the movie, the main lead is just going to be hiding from these people, and it is just all around just, okay, so she's hiding over here, then she hides over there. And there are times throughout the movie where she goes further away, but then the strangers automatically manage to find her. Like, it's just baffling to me, like, how the logic of this movie works. And it gets insane. Some spoilers, by the way, but is anyone really going to be caring? I mean, almost nobody went to go see this movie. There's literally a part where a CGI boar attacks her, I was just all like, okay, when did this turn into The Revenant? At first, I thought it was pointless, but no. There's actually a reason why that boar is attacking her. And to me, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. And not in that same sense that, the scene with Nicolas Cage getting attacked by the bees was ridiculous. Because that was actually funny. This was just... Oh, man. The movie's not even fun in that same type of slasher way when it comes to the kills. Because some of the kills happen off screen, and the only time they... sometimes people will get killed, and all that's left is that we see their bloody dead bodies. I don't know if they're trying to make it seem like it's secretly PG-13, even though it's R-rated, but none of the kills worked at all. So it doesn't have that same sense of just being entertaining, because it really isn't. Despite it only being an hour and a half long, it's amazing, because this movie felt like it went on forever. And that's saying something, because one battle after another was an hour longer, but that felt shorter because actual things were going on in this movie. When things actually happen in this movie, they don't work in that same sense as trying to get you to really connect with the villain motivations and have you going, wow, this makes me like the villains even more. I did not like the fact that the strangers were just there just to kill off people, but because, wow. Nobody's really going to get that way. All that they're going to get is just okay, so I guess Strangers 1 is just... Yeah, because the first Strangers movie was a good roller coaster ride of tension, horror, and just all around being an entertaining slasher film that didn't really need to bring anything fresh to the genre, but being a very simple premise. And the fact that they're making a new franchise, which isn't even over yet, there's going to be one more movie, it just has you wondering, what is the point? That's all that people are going to think about when these movies come out. And in the end, guys, Strangers Chapter 2 doesn't do anything to build up on its predecessor, even when it tries to add in the additions of the character motivations, because it's not there whatsoever, especially since, if you really want to have us connecting more, maybe try adding in more characters and not ones that are just there just to get killed off, because throughout the time, the protagonist will see other characters just for them to get killed off instantly. So, yeah, it's very empty when it comes to other characters to really have you invested with who gets killed off. All that really has is just, having more of those or technically those villain motivations, because it focuses a lot more on them, which is cool and all, but have it make sense. And have it in a way that has people thinking about it a lot more, because all that I really thought about was, why is this a thing? I mean, it doesn't matter how well this movie does. The third movie's already in the works. But who's really going to care about at this point? Who's really going to sit there and go, yes, Strangers Chapter 3. Yes, all these Strangers movies to tie into one big movie. Yes, this is exactly what we need. I mean, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, The Final Reckoning, or whatever. Wicked for Good. Who cares about those? Strangers, baby. And, yeah, that's... But, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, but there was just... It's gotten to the point where who really cares at this point, because I feel like this entire thing was just nothing but a waste, and it's not even over yet. I know, you guys probably thought I was going to give this a half, but here's a few reasons why. One, I already gave 2 other movies this year a half out of 5, and I haven't given a movie a 1, just a 1 yet. And at least some of the actors are trying, and they try adding more to the movie. But that's really about it. I can't say it worked in any way whatsoever. But yeah, that's really about it. I could have given it a half, but I'm only being a little bit nicer to it because, well, those are really my reasons. They're not really good reasons, but I don't know. I almost thought about skipping this one. I know I say that for a lot of movies that that mention. I'm probably not going to see it. I'm probably not going to see it, but I almost thought about skipping the first one, but yeah, I'm just telling you that I saw it, and yeah, that's really it. But Okay, anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe Blue Sky. Links are in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.